Hello and welcome to my channel. If you've read the title of the video, you'll know it. Today we're going to make a general mob farm, which is an all-rounder farm that allows you to farm most hostile overworld mobs. But as you will see, today's farm is not for the faint of heart. It is aimed at producing a lot of loot in Simulation 4, while remaining buildable in survival for those who can muster the courage to do so. Without further ado, let's see how it works. At the core of this farm is the concept of split density. Split density was initially explored by Dr. Jan Cyan a few years ago and basically allows you to double the number of mobs that spawn. The game normally only allows a total of 24 hostile mobs to spawn, 8 for surface spawns and 16 for cave. But if there are more than 4 chunks between 2 spawnable positions, the game will consider they are far away enough and actually allow a theoretical 24 more spawns. So let's verify that. If I stand here between those 2 spawnable positions and set the game to difficult, soon enough I should have more than 8 monsters. You can check the total on the counter, which is to the right of your screen. Here we have already 8, 9. These are all surface spawns. 14, 15. So split density here is working, because in theory we should only have 8. In our farm today we're going to build our killing chambers exactly 4 chunks apart in order to take advantage of this split density. The killing chambers themselves will be the first things we build. They will be 5x5 trident killers based upon my Mob Blender 2.0, which you can find on my channel. Here is how we will build them. We'll need pistons, observers, redstone, chests, glass, or solid blocks would be fine as well, and rails, hoppers, and a sticky piston and a lever to turn the contraption on and off. We will also need trapdoors and tridents. So, as I said, we will build our killing chambers exactly 4 chunks apart from each other, so we'll start flush from the chunk border, here. Here, let me take that a little bit above so we can build the item collection system. We'll place 5 pistons. Then a set of 3 blocks in an L shape, then 5 more pistons in an L shape, 5 more pistons, and close the loop. Then inside of these pistons we'll place chests. And to finish this off, we'll place a line of 5 chests here, like so. Remember to leave this block here empty of anything. This row here and this row here must also be empty. Now let's place walls here, 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 and here, and make them a little bit taller. Here. Now inside we're going to place trapdoors in a checkerboard pattern. like this, and we'll throw tridents in between. If you have tridents with impaling 5, more power to you. You will then have to waterlog the blocks inside of your TK. If you don't have impaling 5, it's not essential. Just know that your rates will be a little bit lower. So if you were to waterlog the entire thing, just waterlog the trapdoors like this. And if you have impaling 5, the trident killer will kill almost all mobs in one shot. Let's make it an impaling 5 trident killer. You need 13 tridents for this TK to work. Now let's wire it. To wire it, we place observers here, 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 and here, and redstone in between. Here the contraption is working. Let's spawn a few mobs inside. And here you can see the mobs are getting killed. Sometimes they will stop like this, but not for long. Of course, here we need to take care of the XP. For that, we'll use a skull catalyst, which you can place wherever suits you. But first, let's stop the contraption by adding a sticky piston here. And deactivate it. If you place a skull catalyst, you might want to avoid, or you will want to avoid, that the skulk vein spreads too far high up into the rest of the farm, so place buttons like so. This way it should prevent skulk vein from going up. Now all we have left to do is create an item collection system. We'll do that with hopper minecarts. So let me build that real quick. Here we're done. All we have left to do is place hopper minecarts, and as you can see I've used all powered rails here because I'm in creative, but in survival you could of course replace some of these rails with regular rails. So let's place the hopper minecarts, and immediately you'll see that some of the items aren't getting picked up. That's normal, that's because they are on top of the trapdoors. But as soon as I set back on the contraption, you will see they will get picked up. Here. All the items were properly retrieved. Whenever you use the farm, please be careful to check that all your minecarts are properly running. These are known to stop running randomly every once in a while. Even a single minecart stopping will cause your rates to tank. So this is it for the TK. Now here is a mock-up of the platforms of our farms. The TKs will go in the big holes in the middle. This is of course just a mock-up, and when you actually build the farm, the platforms should be high up in the sky. The platforms are 19 by 19. The size isn't arbitrary. It is dictated by the size of the killing chambers and the water streams. The water streams are 8 in length, as you should know, but we will sacrifice the last block in order to make a ledge with open fence gates. First, let me populate this platform with scaffolding here. Now let me reopen the hole in the middle. And place a few open fence gates. Don't forget to open them. Now if I place a water source block here, as you can see, the water comes up to the ledge. This will force spiders to fall directly into the TK without being able to catch onto the walls here and climb back up. Like this. So as you can see, we will have our 5 blocks in the middle plus 7 blocks in each direction. Hence the size of 19 by 19. This size also tells us how we should place our platforms. Here, the TK here on the left should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks from the chunk border. The one on the right should be 9 blocks out. Now here comes the interesting part. As in any general mob farm, the big question is, how are we going to deal with the two most problematic mobs, which are spiders and baby zombies? The answer is simple. We'll use bubble columns, of course. But how are we going to place the bubble columns without losing too much platform spawning efficiency? Here is my proposed solution. By placing soul sand every 4 blocks, we create a pattern that makes bubble columns and at the same time prevents mobs from walking more than a few steps in a straight line. So they can get caught up in the water streams quite efficiently. This here provides us with about 83% of spawnability. All we need to do now is create the water streams and then the bubble columns. In that order. If you create the water columns before you create the water streams, they will get botched. So, for example, place slime here. Any temporary block will do. On top of your soul sand. Then create your water streams, as is usually done, following the method developed by Rufus Atticus, which basically is very simple. You place 2 blocks here and here, then fill the rest of the line up with water source blocks. Skip 2 blocks again. Fill the rest with water. Skip 2 blocks again. Fill the rest with water. And close the loop. Then remove the temporary blocks. All we have left to do now is to remove these blocks, these temporary blocks here, and create our water bubble columns. And this is what your result should look like. Once we are done, we must now replicate this process for a total of 4 9-layers towers, which will make up the bulk of our farm. I told you this wasn't for the faint of heart. And here should be the end result. We have our 4 towers completed. I added a roof made of glass just over this last block here. And I also replaced the glass here with fences, which allow mobs to spawn on the north and west side of the spawning platform. There is also a leaf roof here. I made it very high up in the sky for cosmetic reasons, but you could just place it 7 blocks above this last spawning platform here, somewhere around here, and make it extend 7 blocks out in each direction from the last spawning block of each side of your platform. So 7 blocks on this side, 7 blocks on this side, and 7 blocks over there and over there. After the towers are done, we can move on to wiring. Wiring here is quite easy. We have our TKs here and here. As you can see, they are waterlogged. So I'm using Impaling 5. The TKs are connected with redstone to a pillar in the center, which is just underneath our AFK. The AFK is exactly 23 blocks from one side of the farm and 24 blocks from the other side. The reason why we connect the Trident killers to a pressure plate is that our TKs are not relog proof and will break if you delog while they are still on. So you really want to stop them before you delog, and a good way to do this is by having the TKs running only when you physically are at the AFK spot. Once the wiring is done, we need a collection system that is able to cope. Here it is quite simple. We have 2 lanes of hoppers running in parallel underneath the minecarts. These lines feed into 2 non-stackable item filters here and here on each side of the lane. These non-stackable item filters are very easy to build. Here is how we build them. Imagine you have a line of hoppers like this one here. All you need to do is place a locked hopper underneath somewhere and make your top line here read the contents of a hopper somewhere on the line. And if this hopper detects an item that has a redstone signal of 3, it will get unlocked and feed the item into a dropper. The dropper can then throw the item away into a lava cauldron, for example. Here, whenever there's an item inside of the dropper, it will spit it out. So let's try it. Here, if I place an item, a non-stackable item, into this hopper line here, the first non-stackable item should be pulled by this hopper here, like so. And if I place another non-stackable item, the first item that's here will be fed into this dropper, which will spit it out. Here. So this is the non-stackable filter that I'm using here. It's very simple and very convenient. After the non-stackable items are filtered and destroyed, here with lava cauldrons, the stackable items are then fed into these droppers here at the end of the hopper lines, and they get spat out into these water streams. These water streams lead to an item sorter which is high speed. You can find how to build it on my channel. It's very simple and very efficient. Basically, it's like a regular item sorter, but it uses hopper minecarts instead of regular hoppers. Hopper minecarts are 4 times faster than regular hoppers. And this is it. This is the completed farm. So let's check the number of items it outputs in an hour. So this is 1 hour of loot. There are actually over 20,000 items in these chests. So this farm produces about or a little over 20,000 items per hour. If I turn back item dropping to on, soon we should see items starting to flow towards the item sorter. To the right of your screen you can see the total mob count. And here the items are starting to flow, and once they start to flow it becomes just non-stop. And remember, this is in simulation 4, so this will work on any realm. And I guess this is it for today. I hope you like it. If you have questions or comments, feel free to use the comment section and I will be happy to reply as soon as possible. Thank you for watching. Bye.